So what I was saying is you guys aren't just simply joining a team. You're stepping into something much, much bigger. It's a movement like I started off the opportunity call about. That's why I'm so excited about this. It's what fires me up every single day, and it's what makes it powerful, and it spreads through people who decide to show up, you guys. And you know, what matters most, I think, about this business, and I think matters most about anything in life. If it's in marriage, if it's being a parent, if it's being a friend, if it's, you know, being a mentor, is your mindset. I mean, mindset is absolutely the most important, crucial thing that you need to have. And the way you show up for this business, you guys, will determine how fast you will build momentum and how far you will truly be able to go. And the cool thing about this is when you started this business and you bought a product pack, like I said on the opportunity call, when you did that, you automatically became an entrepreneur. And it's not just a title. Because when you're an entrepreneur, what that means is you're building something real, something that's yours, something that you own, something with a purpose. And that's why when I spoke to that young lady about her kids with autism and the kid that couldn't eat, I knew that this was a purpose for me. Because for the last 3 or 4 years, I've really been looking at my health and supplements and food and everything that I was putting into my body. And this just came at the perfect time. And when you have a purpose and you treat it like a business and you treat it with seriousness and consistency and heart, you're gonna have success. But if you don't do that, then you're gonna struggle a little bit. And one of the biggest keys, I think, to being an entrepreneur is constantly learning. Constantly learning. If you're not learning, if you're not reading, if you're not doing things to get better, if you're not understanding the product, and you don't have to do this for hours a day. Like I'm saying, systematically spend 10 to 15 minutes a day getting better in this business. If it's, you're on the opportunity call because you want to see how it's done so that you can do it, or you can give one to your team, or actually have a call with somebody so you can learn what I'm saying or what you need to say. Because when I came to this business, I knew nothing about this device. And I took a month and I sat on Sarah's calls, I sat on Kyle's calls, I sat on Mike Hernandez's calls to learn from them on how to talk about this device. And I took what I liked that spoke to me, and then I executed and implemented what I do today, okay? So we built incredible resources for you guys. And I want you guys to use them. I mean, I built these, and I didn't say this on the opportunity call, and if you're still here, the great thing about this business and what we've built is you don't have to do it. You don't have to do these calls if you don't want to, because we do them. We have opportunity calls on Tuesdays and Thursday nights, and also Tuesdays afternoon as well. So we do onboarding calls on Mondays, onboarding calls on Tuesdays afternoons. We do testimonial calls. So we already have this system. We already have this website. All you gotta do is plug into it and simply focus on helping people. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And once you learn how to use these resources, you're gonna have knowledge, and that knowledge is gonna create confidence, and confidence will create momentum in your business. That's what this is all about. I'm a serial entrepreneur, you guys. This is the ingredients that I'm talking to you about today that are going to help you build the business that you wanna build. But you gotta scale, and that's the great thing about this business is you can scale fast because everyone else is gonna be doing work as well as you are to build a business. That's what's so beautiful about this business. Now, I know direct sales sometimes get a bad name because it's, no one makes money, and it's a pyramid scheme, and all that's a lie, right? I mean, that's all just an excuse. It is a pyramid scheme, but it's an inverted pyramid scheme, right? I mean, it's not this way, it's this way. And you can make more money the more you do in this business. And there's no such thing as a pyramid scheme. The only thing that's a pyramid scheme is corporate America. That's why I've never worked in corporate America. Because corporate America, there's only one person who makes all the money, and that's the CEO and the owner, right? Everyone else can never make more than the CEO or owner. In this business, we can make more than the CEO or owner of this company. There's people probably making that now in our business that are making $180,000, $200,000 a week in this business, that they built a business over the last 4 years. So our website, and I'm going to show you this at the end, is wellnessrev.org. You can go to that website, just play around with it. I'm going to do it at the end and show you. We have a school training platform. We have a step-by-step modules and videos. Matter of fact, on that platform, I have a module in there called Success Psyche, a book that I wrote. And I used to charge for this. I used to sell this course for $1,500. It's for free on our website. If you're a part of our business, you can go on there and you can watch all those videos for free. It says Success Psyche on there. That's available to you guys for being a part of this team. All right? I want you guys to commit to weekly training. I want you guys to commit to that, because if you do that, I promise you, you're going to have success. Keller Williams was the #1 real estate agency in the world before EXP came along, because EXP is in this business model. The duplication model works. It's the biggest real estate company in the world, and Keller Williams was for years. But the way Keller Williams did it is they did it through training and education. They never spent a dime on marketing. They only trained their agents to be the best in the business, and that's what grew their business. Now, if life gets in the way, you guys, and you miss a live call, no problem. Just make it a priority to watch the replay. Watch it when you're working out, watch it when you're going to the bathroom, watch it when you're in the car, or listen to it while you're in the car, because every training you listen to, the repetition is going to be a step forward in your business. Every call is going to build skill, it's going to build belief, it's going to build certainty in your business. And belief, you guys, this is everything. There's no one on this call that can say that I'm not convicted and believe in this product and what it can do for humanity, right? The passion that I have comes out of me. I don't even have to try. It's just there. Because this is, in my mind, this is not just another supplement. It's not another gadget. This is technology. This device is technology that can truly change lives and humanity. And when you believe that, like I do, sharing becomes such a natural, passion, and contagious thing. If you're struggling right now and you're in this business and you're on this call and you've been doing this a while and people aren't listening to you, you really need to take a look in the mirror and say, is my passion contagious? Am I convicted to this product? And we have testimonial calls every single week. And let me tell you, when I do those testimonial calls and I hear some of the testimonials of people that have had some transformations that are unbelievable, it just reaffirms every single week why I do this. And the cool thing is, you guys, you're not doing this alone. We have created a proven system. You don't have to reinvent anything. You just have to follow what works. Invite people to the opportunity calls. Like, we do these opportunity calls not just for you, but if someone has a question, say, hey, listen, there's an opportunity call today at 2 o'clock that I'm doing with my business partner. I'd love to get your opinion on this call and what I'm doing. People love to give their opinion, right? Don't try to sell them, hey, I want to get you this call and try to get you in this business. Just ask them for their opinion. And then use the tools. Lean on a team and let's build this together. Listen, Pixie is on this call. She sent a message to a chat about, can we do these calls and extend these calls at 2 o'clock, right? We listen. We want to grow. We want to help you grow. I can promise you and I can assure you, this is what we do. And you have all the tools and resources you need. Now it's on you to get out there and talk to people. So what I want to do with you right now is I want to share the back office with you guys and share with you guys just a little stuff that you need to know. Now, all this stuff that I'm also going to share with you is also on the website in like 2 to 3 minute videos. But I'm going to go through the really, really critical part for the people that just joined this so that you understand where to find stuff in here. Let me find my Zoom. Okay, there it is. So this is your back office. Once you sign up, you're going to create a user ID and a password. You're just going to simply log in. All right? And this is where where your business is. This is your website. Now, you can see right here, I've got this set up in LLC because I want the tax write-offs. I want to be able to write everything off. This is probably going to show your name. But one of the things I want to start with is I recommend getting an LLC set up. It costs you like $300 to do. You can do it online, call an attorney, just have them set up an LLC for you. But this is where your hub is, right? This is where all of your stuff is. You're going to click on that button right there and you're going to hit change settings. Okay? This is where you're going to edit everything, you guys. I'm not going to go through here because some of my personal information is on here, but you're going to go through each one of these tabs and just go in here and edit every single thing, right? When you can see on here account settings, it says edit, go in and edit your picture, edit all the things in here, okay? So that's how you update your profile, okay? The next thing that I want you to change is I want you to know where to change your legs, and it's in the same section, right? So if you go to your update profile and you go under this and you hit change settings, a little bit way down is where you're gonna change your legs, okay? Remember I told you it's a binary, left and right. So whenever you enroll somebody, then you need to go in there and change it to your right leg because you want to have a balanced organization. And then if someone enrolls on your right leg, you're just going to go back in there and you see his binary preference has changed. And you're going to go back in there to the left and you're going to change it again. Okay? You just want to alternate that. That's where you change it in there. Now, if some reason you forgot to change it, you have 5 days with customer service to call them and they'll change that person to put them on the right leg. Whatever leg it is, left or right, whatever leg you want them on. So if that happens, you have 5 days. Just don't wait for that 5 days, okay? And then your monthly subscription. This is a really, really important one, okay? When you're a brand partner in this business, you have to have at least 55 PV to stay active to get paid inside the compensation plan, okay? So on the monthly subscription orders, if you didn't sign up with the monthly subscription, I want you to go in here and just see first if you did. But this is my monthly subscription orders that I have here, okay? If you click on this and there's nothing there, you need to make sure you're on a monthly subscription of an auto ship of at least one X39 every month, okay? So in order to do that, all you have to do is go into store and go to patches, okay? And then you're gonna click on X39 and it's gonna bring up X39. It's very, very simple. And you're gonna go down here and say add to monthly subscription orders. Click on that. And it's going to give you a green box over there that says patches has been added to your auto order. Not exactly true, okay? You have to go to the cart and actually check out, okay? Once you do that, then you want to go back to monthly subscription orders and see that it showed up, okay? Now, let's just say you signed up 2 weeks ago. You need to make sure that you do it at least 29 days from the first time you bought your patches so that you don't have that law and you lose activity. Because what happens is, if you go inactive, the volume that I'm putting in, if you're under me or you're under Pixie or whoever you're under, that volume that they're growing, also you get credit on whatever leg that you're under on that, and you could lose that volume, which is potential money for you once you have the other leg being built up, right? We want to maintain that money and not lose that money ever, okay? So the next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is the enrollment link. This is the next important thing. So how do you get your enrollment link? Now, we've got videos on school and on our website how to set up what's called boards, which you can set up. It's a keyboard on your phone where you can set links up and you could text, you can DM, you can WhatsApp, but all that training's on the platform, okay? But in order to get your link, you just go into under organization, enroll new, global enrollment, and then I'm not a robot, you're gonna hit join now. This link right here is your enrollment link for brand partners. I want you to copy and paste that and put it in your notes on your phone. Notes on your phone. That way, if anybody ever asks for your link, you go into your notes, copy that link, and then text it to them, and they have your link for a brand partner if that's what they want to do. Now, if they just want to be a customer, you're going to scroll down to the bottom of this page and hit Preferred Customer Program. And this link right here is your customer link. Copy and paste that, put that in notes so that it's ready, available. When someone says, hey, I want your link, that's how you find your link. Really, really simple, but copy and paste that so it's really, really easy. And also, if you want to learn about the boards thing, which is really simple, on a board, you can hit the keyboard and your link will be right inside of that board, and you can just send it that way as well as any other stuff that you want to send out there, okay? So, commissions, pretty important one, right? How do you check commissions? So you go to commissions here, and then click on commissions. That's going to show you your commissions, okay? Also on the home screen, you can see the home screen as well. Right here under commissions, you can see the commissions right there on your home screen, okay? So that's how you check commissions. When you go to commissions here, it will give you a breakdown of all the 9 ways and what the money is so far that you've made that week inside of commissions. If you want to upgrade your package, let's say that you started off as a core and I want to upgrade to advanced, which you can do that one time, okay? You just pay the difference. So if it's $295 and $535, then I'm going to pay the difference between $295 and $535 one time, and they're going to send me the additional patches. Or I want to update to the premium, you're going to pay the difference between the $1750 and the $295, and they're going to send you the additional. You could upgrade to each package one time. How you do that is you go to store, and down here below sales tools, if you haven't upgraded, I'm a premium, I bought the premium pack when I started, it will say under sales tool, upgrade package. You click on that and it's going to give you options to upgrade to whatever package you want. Very, very simple. But that's how you upgrade your package right into that thing. The other thing I want to show you guys is the resource tab. What I did when I first started is I went through every single one of these tabs. I looked at all of these videos just to get educated on every single thing that this website has, right? I spent 10, 15 minutes a day and went through this. As well as education tab has some compensation things on there as well. You can go through that as well. Just like I said, systematically, 10, 15 minutes a day, do that. I'm gonna show you something else that you should be doing here in a minute, okay? Now, what I wanna talk to you guys about now is the hardest part about this business, okay? The hardest part of this business is talking to people consistently and having a system to do so. And I'm gonna share with you my system. My system is I talk to 2 people every single day, 5 days a week. That's 10 people a week. And I know I'm gonna get 1 brand partner and 2 customers. That's just the numbers. It's a 10% rule number, but I'm gonna talk to 2 people every single day. And I'm gonna talk to you about how I decide who I'm gonna talk to in a minute, and how I get into those conversations with people, right? It's called the 2-10-1 method, and I'll show you that in a minute. So if you're not talking to people consistently, you're not gonna get the results. This is what I do know. If you do this 2-10-1 method, you talk to 2 people a day, 10 people a week, one person a week comes into business, you have 52 people in your business at the end of the year. If you could duplicate that model with just half the people that came in that year, 26 of them, you'll have 1,357 people in your business that are gonna be paying you, okay, in 1 year, okay? Now, if you do that with those 1,357 people and the 52 people you bring in this year, you'll have 35,000 people in your business. You'll have a $5 million a month business in revenue that's coming in, and you'll be making anywhere between $30,000 to $50,000 a week in this business. 1 person a week. Now, what most people do is they focus on the 9 people that said no. But if you get 1 person a week, you guys, to sign up inside of this business, it will change your life. And you got to celebrate that 1 person, okay? So the hardest part, like I said, is talking to people, right? And it's getting into that conversation. So first of all, I want to tell you what not to do, okay? In my life, I've always wanted to learn what not to do because it saves me a lot of time and it saves me a lot of money. But you're excited about this business. Don't overwhelm people. In the first few minutes of the conversation about how amazing this device is and how many people's lives has changed and how much money you're making in this business, and don't lead with it being a network marketing or direct sales business. Now, I don't hide it, but I just don't lead with that, right? If people ask me, I say it's a direct sales compensation model, but it's not a Me-Too product and we have no competition in the space, right? I don't lead with that in the conversation. This is what I'm talking about at the beginning of the conversation. Don't do that. Don't lead with a comp plan. Don't lead with how much money. But what works in normal conversations is leaving people with themselves. Now, my grandfather taught me this when I was 14 years old and I was trying to build a snow shoveling business, a landscaping business in the spring, and a paper route, and trying to get tips on the paper route. He said, listen, the way you do this is you leave people with themselves. And I said, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he said, son, it's simple. You know everything about them and they know nothing about you. And I was like, okay, go further. And he was like, ask questions. And then he was like, the type of questions matter. And I was like, well, what type of questions? He was like, well, what do people like to do for fun? Their family, vacation. And the number 1 thing is their identity, what they do for a living. But be very genuinely interested in what they have to say and ask more questions and keep the conversation going. Ask questions after you get responses. And he said, if you do that, people will like and trust you. And when people like and trust you, they'll go in business or they'll buy from you. And then when it's your turn to talk, they will listen to you. So if you listen to someone, they will listen to you. So they will like, trust, and listen to you. But it has to be authentic. And so what I did is I would go out and do that. Paper route, I was collecting money, and I'd go out and be like, hey, how's your family? Or I would ask, what they did for a living. But in this business, this is what I do, right? I'll get into those questions. I meet someone in the gym. I'll say, hey, you have kids? Oh, yeah, I got 3 kids. Awesome. How old are they? Where do you guys usually go on vacation? What do your kids like to do? They play sports? And then I'll say, well, what do you do for work? They'll tell me. My next question is, how long have you been doing that? 10 years. Wow, 10 years. That's amazing. You must really love it. Pays the bills. Well, there's got to be one thing you love about it. What would be one thing that you say you love about your job? You don't stay somewhere for 10 years if you don't like something about it. What's one thing you love about your job? And then they tell you, right? I'm gathering information. I'm not gathering information to react, okay? I want you guys to understand that and hear that loud and clear, right? Because when you're talking to individuals, they're individuals, and every individual has a different scenario in their life. And so I want to get to the bottom of what makes them tick so that I can now tailor my presentation when it's my turn to talk around their pain points, okay? And so when they said that, I said, well, if you could change one thing, you had a magic wand, you could change one thing about what you do, what would it be? And usually it's always around time, money, freedom, traveling, right? Which we can fix all of that with this business, right? People can build a business where they have all of those freedoms and they don't have to be stuck where they are, they don't really love. Again, I don't react. And then what normally happens 99.9% of the time is that person always asks me, what do you do? And that's when you got to have your 30-second commercial ready. And you got to have it practiced. And you got to know exactly what you're going to say to that person, right? So this is my 30-second commercial. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm in many, many different businesses, but the one that I'm most passionate about right now, the one that I love the most, is I'm in a stem cell business. It's changing people's lives. And it's changed my life more than anything has ever changed my life before. The things that this thing has done for me. And I list the 6 things. Now, I'm not saying do this on social media. Okay, I want you guys to be clear. We don't do this on social media. But I always, one-on-one conversations, tell them the 6 things that it's done for me. The reason I use 6 things, you guys, is because most people have one of the 6. Okay? So I don't give my personal testimonial, because my testimonial, the first thing I noticed is I didn't wake up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. That's a minority testimonial. Most people are like, oh great, well I don't wake up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, right? So the 6 things that I share with people is this. I have more energy than I've ever had in my entire life, even when I was 18 years old. I have no discomfort in my body. I played sports my entire life. I have no discomfort in my body whatsoever, which I absolutely love. My sleep is improved 32%, which you guys know that is, which you know, what I tell people, which you know is a biohack, right? Getting good, deep and REM sleep and a consistent level changes everything for you. I have no inflammation in my body whatsoever, 0. And I have more mental clarity than I could have ever imagined. I used to forget everything. And the last thing that I've noticed with this device is I've lost the weight that I didn't want to have and put on the muscle that I did want to have. It has changed my life. I feel like a brand new person. And oh, by the way, the other thing that it did for me is, this is the oh, by the way. I used to wake up in the middle of the night after I turned 49 years old to go to the bathroom, and that stopped immediately the first day that I put it on. And most people at that point always say to me, oh, that is awesome. How do I get it? And I say the same thing that I just on the opportunity call you guys. You can get this 1 of 4 ways. It's super easy. You can buy it retail for $149 a month, $5 a day, but nobody really does that, because you can buy it retail for $99 a month with an auto ship, or I can show you how to get it for free by referring in 3 customers, or you could do what I'm doing. I decided to be an affiliate with the company because I'm so passionate about it. I've seen so many lives changed, and I decided to make it my social responsibility to share it with every single person I come in contact with, just like you. And they actually compensate me for it. Which one sounds most appealing to you? And when you say that, they're going to choose one of them, right? And then they say, I just want to try it. Oh, awesome. I'm going to meet people where they are. I'm not going to try to push them into something else. That's the mistake you make, right? If they say, hey, I just want to try the device, cool. Awesome. Let me send you a link and we get the device. And then I'm going to follow up with them in 60 days and ask them how it's going. Hey, do you want to get this for free? Yeah, I'd love to get it for free. Listen, all you got to do is refer in 3 of your friends, family, neighbors, people you work with, and you don't have to pay for yours. And you can help them get theirs for free. All they got to do is refer in 3 people. And then I follow up with them. They referred 3 people and they're getting their device for free. I was like, listen, the way you are with people, you can get compensated for this. Your people have shared and shared and shared. You can be making money off this. We should get you into the business. but you need to meet people where they are, because if you try to force them into it, you're going to push them away. All right, so that's how I get into conversations with people. It's very, very natural, even if it's somebody that I know. Okay, I want to show you a game that I do every single day. How I get my two people, if I'm not out and about, if I haven't met someone in the sauna, I will go into my phone. If you go into your phone right now and you go into your contacts, I call this the slot machine game. I just scroll through my phone and I stop. And I stopped on Bonnie Holder, Cartridge World. I used to work with her when I was an Allstate agent. She used to provide all my ink cartridges back 15 years ago. I haven't talked to Bonnie in probably 15, 16 years. I'll call Bonnie up and say to Bonnie, I'll call her with a different last name, right? Because we haven't talked in forever. I'll act like I'm calling somebody else. Bonnie Smith. No, this is Bonnie Holder. Bonnie Holder. Oh my God, this is Jay Atkins. Jay Atkins. Yeah, I used to get you your cartridges. Oh my God, Bonnie, what are you up to these days? Are you still doing that? Where are you at these days? Oh no, I'm with this company. Wow, how long you been there? You've been there 5 years? Wow, you must really love it. What do you love about it? What would you change about it? And then they're gonna say, hey, are you still with Allstate? Oh no, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I sold that business, I'm doing this, but my favorite business is, you're just getting that same phone track. Even if it's someone you know, ask them how their job's going. They're gonna ask you how your job's going. And you're just getting to that same track, you guys. Practice this. Have your 30-second commercial ready always. And you don't have to call someone to sell them. Call someone to build rapport with them and build a relationship with them. There's so many people that you could talk to, you guys. There's so many people living in pain. There's so many people with low energy. Or just, you can get in a conversation with somebody, what do you know about stem cells? I ask this question all the time to people. I mean, I know you got to go to Panama or Mexico. I know they're trying to legalize them in the U.S. You know how expensive they are? You know that your body could reject them? You know it might not work? You know that those stem cells are going to go dormant? Did you know between the age of 0 and 30, 50% of your stem cells? Did you know between the age of 30 and 60, 90% of your stem cells are dormant? You know what stem cells do? They keep inflammation out of your body. They keep you young. They keep you healthy. They keep disease out of your body. Right? So get into those conversations. Educate yourself about this. I ask people how their energy is. And the type of people you can talk to, you guys, there's so many people, friends and family. They're going to be your toughest critic, you guys. They're going to be the toughest people to talk to. Co-workers and classmates, people that you worked with, people that you went to school with. Social media contacts. I don't care if you got 200 social media. 10%, that's 20. That's 20 people in your business. That's half a year of people in your business that you could talk to. People that are in direct sales. There's no better comp plan, you guys, than ours. And guess what? LifeWave doesn't care if you work with another direct sales company, because they're very confident and they have an abundance mindset about this business. So pull out your phone, pick two people to call them up, have a conversation. And just keep it natural. Have that 30-second commercial ready. But the main objective, you guys, to be successful in this business, you got to get out and you got to get this device on people. You got to give them some patches. That's what's going to blow your business up. It's a small investment that's going to blow your business up. You got to create momentum, you got to get this device on people. When people try it, the belief grows. The conversations get easier. Referrals happen. Your confidence raises. All right? So really quick, I want to share with you guys the back office, the website. Let me just go in here. So this is the website for the Wellness Revolution, right? I just want to show you guys some key things. First of all, this is our team. We got over 150 years of experience. All these guys are superstars on our team. They're doing all the training. They're doing all the work. They're doing all the calls. You guys don't have to do any of that. We want other leaders to come up and do calls as well. So this is not just all about us. There's no single face on here. We're all one unit. This is a message from Meredith. If you haven't heard it, she talks about the Wellness Revolution. A message from my wife and I. This is a 90-day challenge. I did an 8-week course to raise your level in your life. I wrote a book on this, how to take your life to the next level. And then also onboarding. This is really, really important, you guys. Under the onboarding tab, down here, we have what we call the 8-step launch plan. These are very, very short videos that you can go through and to set up and launch your business, okay? This 8-step launch plan is within the 20-day business launch system, okay? What we wanted to do, and I don't care if you've been in this business a year or two, you should go through this. You should have everyone go through this so that you know what people are going through. But when they start their business, let's say they signed up today. Tomorrow they're gonna go into day 1. And they're just gonna click on each one of these links. And you can see this minute's 1 minute and 24 seconds long, okay? So they're gonna go in and watch that video. Then they're gonna go in and go to the 20-day launch system. We're gonna explain what this 20-day launch system is. Your back office profile, set up your personal links, everything that we just went through, they're gonna go through, but it's gonna take them 10 to 15 minutes a day to go through each day. By the end of 20 days, they have everything that they need to be self-sufficient. The reason I built this is because when you're building a business and people are calling you about all these things, everything that they need to launch their business is inside of this 20 days. It's inside of this website. They can find everything that they need to find so that we can all together grow our business. Because the great thing about the binary is if you're growing your business and they're below you, everything you do goes below them. And they make money off of everything you do. So they want you to be recruiting because they benefit. And if they're recruiting, you benefit, and the people below them benefit. That's the beautiful thing about this thing where people say it's a pyramid scheme. It's like everyone wins. Right? So if we could get people focused on bringing people into the business and helping people, then they don't have to worry about any of this. They have a system to plug into. And you guys need to go through the system so you know exactly what you're talking about in this, okay? And then we also have the back office tour, and where we show you through the back office. This is our school platform. So if you haven't signed up for this, you just have to join the school and you go in, and then the classroom, these are all just, this takes people on a journey all the way through compensation plan, marketing, onward, compliance, life wave, product knowledge. This is what I was talking about, the success psyche. This is, if you need to set up an LLC, I give you the step-by-step how to set up LLC. Technology and tools. This, all the tools that I use and all the technology with ChatGPT and everything and how I use it, it's inside of there. Success psyche, this is, I used to charge $1,500 for this. Okay, this is free for you guys. You guys can go through all of these videos, and this is my book broken down page by page on how you can create the right success psyche in your business and in your life. Comp plan, this is what I showed you guys on the opportunity call. This is all the videos that we broke down in 2-3 minute videos explaining each detail of the comp plan. Our community tab, this is where we recognize people that are doing well in the business. This is where our Destined for Success tickets, you can buy them, and all the events that we've done. All of our rank ups that we have, we post on here as well as brand partner of the month. And then we have a book club, you guys. I've been doing this book club for 5 years. And Lola, just mute that if you can. We're starting this book this week. We do a Wednesday call at 1 o'clock where we just all discuss the book and what our takeaways are. We read 15 pages a day, 75 pages a week. And these books are just to help us get better, right? And then testimonials. If you guys have any testimonials, reach out to Lola or Justin, and we could get you on the website so that you could send customers here or you could send prospects here so they can see the testimonials. This is a wellness regimen. This is what my wife and I do every day, supplements and as well as workout. And then this is a resource tab, you guys. You need to go through this tab. There is so much information in here that we have for you guys that you guys do not have to duplicate. The 90-day massive action plan, the full quarter GPS. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Prospect packet, everything that you need, how to overcome objections, everything that you need inside your business to be successful. Current talk pastor network marketers, handle objections, people you don't know, people you do know. So just go through this and use this resource. But the most important thing is to make sure that your team knows it exists, right? Everyone that you sign up, you need to point them here so that they're doing the 20-day onboarding so that it's not tied to you helping them and answering all their questions, okay? That's the most important thing. Like, this business is about duplication, and duplication comes from a system. You got to have a system, and you got to have SOPs, and you got to make sure you're pointing people, because the thing is, if you become the encyclopedia, then they're always going to call you. But if you show them where the information is, then they become self-sufficient, and you can build a massive business that pays you over and over and over again. All right? So here's the mindset, you guys. You guys do not need hours a day in this business. I'm telling you, you don't. If you utilize this system, you can spend 15 to 30 minutes a day recruiting, talking to 2 people every single day, and 15 minutes training a day, and you will have a successful business. Leverage our system. That's why we built it. That's why we invest in the money, so that you guys can do that and we can build this massive business together. Have to. Get them on the 20-day onboarding. I have 10 minutes. If anybody has any questions that I can answer real quick, I'm happy to do that.
Mm.
Go ahead, Lucia. Lucy.
Yes. Hello. So, what would you advise to people who cannot say yet, it has changed my life completely? You know, somebody who has just started and they don't feel anything, and they know that, there are studies about it, but they just want to have their own results first.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's all types of people. Yeah, so I talk about this in a one-on-one training. So there's a 30-30-40 rule. Okay, 30% of people are going to react very quickly to something that you're offering to them, right? And they're going to make a move. They move quickly with technology or whatever new changes are in there. But only 50% of that 30% is actually going to make a move fast. Okay. And then the other 50% might take 3 to 4, 5, 6, 8 weeks to actually make a move. Now, the next 30% of people are going to take 6 months to a year to move. Okay? They're going to be like, I need to feel something. I need to see it long term. Like, it's just they're excuse makers, but they'll eventually come along. And then the top 40% are never doing anything. Right? They're just talkers, and they never do anything, and they say they're going to do something and they never do it. So I always try to put those people based on conversations into those boxes. Now, if they want to have their own personal, thing, it might take, 3 days, and it might take 3 weeks, and it might take 3 months, right? So I meet them where they are. I say, listen, I understand you're going to have the same results that I had, and it might take you 3 days, 3 weeks, or 3 months, but when you do, you're going to be just like me. You're going to want to share this because it's going to blow you away. Now, what I would say to you is, if you want to share this device because it could be faster for someone else along the way, and you think this is something that you want to do, what I would say is, I would want you, I'm just trying to help you. I would want you to sign up now as a core. You have 30 days to cancel it, but everyone that I bring into business under you and people that are already under you, you're going to benefit from them. But if you wait 30 days or you wait 60 days to come into business, you might miss out on that opportunity. And it could be someone that comes into business is just going to kill it. And all of a sudden now you're not making any money off that person because you waited. But it's up to you. I just want to let you know. I don't want you to tell me, why didn't you tell me that, when we talked about this, and now you're telling me 60 days after? Like, you should have told me, Lucy, that I should have done that. So again, I meet people where they are, not where I want them to be. And I don't really try to force people. Now, I know some people will teach different in this industry and they force people. That's just not me, because I don't feel like long term it's effective. If you force somebody to do something, long term they're not going to do anything in the business. Now, I will give them some guidance like I just gave you. Like, you might want to sign up, and if you decide that you don't want to do it, you can always get your money back. But I'm telling you, like, this thing works. I've seen so many. I've heard thousands of transformations in this product. So if you want to wait till you get yours, that's cool. I'll follow up with you. But one thing that I will say, Lucy, is really, really important when you're talking to these people is, if you really want to see the results of this device, I need you to promise me you're going to do 2 things. You're going to wear it 12 hours every single day. It's a new habit, so you got to create a new habit to wear this thing. So you got to promise me you're going to wear it 12 hours every day, and you got to promise me you're going to drink at least half your body weight in water. If you can do that, I promise you're going to see results. Because if you start to feel, you call me and you tell me you feel sleepy, or you got a little bit of a headache, you feel off with this device, I'm going to tell you, drink water. Because as soon as you drink water, you immediately start to feel better. So if you can make me those 2 promises, I promise you this device is going to change your life like it changed mine. And I feel confident saying that, because I've never had anybody, no one, in 2 years not have a result from this device. Not one. Not one. I actually did have one, but I knew he was not wearing it correctly, because he's very inconsistent in everything that he does. So I was like, you're not putting it. How often do you do it? He's like, I do it every day. I'm like, you do it every day. He's like, well, sometimes I forget. I was like, it's not going to work. I mean, you're not going to lose weight if you're not consistent with your diet. If you're not consistent with working out, like you got to be consistent. So that was the only person, but I knew him, and I know he wasn't using it right. Anybody else? Great question, Lucy.
Not exactly a question, but more actually knowing when it's time to walk away because you're respecting what someone's saying. So I actually was on a call today with someone ringing on behalf of her husband, and he doesn't speak any English. So she was fielding the call, and essentially what he really wanted to do was try the patch for a month and then hope he'd have a miracle cure. And I had to kind of point out and saying, well, I have to be really honest with you. If that's where he is, um, he's really welcome to try it for a month, but that's not a realistic expectation. It might happen because some people get that.
Yeah,
But, her husband actually had a lot of inflammation for more than 30 years. And I thought, there's no way a snowball's chance in hell, but miracles can happen.
yeah,
I didn't say that to her. That's what I was thinking. And I said, I owe it to you to be really honest that maybe he's just not desperate enough yet, that
yeah,
his pain levels aren't so bad that he's ready to try anything because he's still kind of very much on the Western medical model. So it was all about being honest, not discouraging, but being prepared to walk away from it. And also knowing, I'm not shutting the door either because he may change his mind.
yeah.
Um, you know, so I just wanted to throw that one out there
Yeah,
that
so Pixie, there was a gentleman that was on our testimonial call last week, and was in a wheelchair, had debilitating pain, and he was at that point where he said, "I'll try anything," and he wore the patch for 90 days, nothing, 120 days, nothing, 150 days. Right before he was getting ready to have surgery, he woke up no pain. And he was like, I was like, yeah, this thing's not going to work. He's like, but I committed that I was going to do it for a year. And he's a changed man in every aspect of his life, right? So the thing is people have to, and again, they have to do it consistently. They have to wear it. They have to drink water. That's the only two things. And so to answer your question, I don't ever give up on people. So I have a system, you guys, and it's called a calendar. And when I talk to someone and they say that they don't want to, do it right now or whatever, our phone devices, we press the side button and we can put anything on our calendar by talking to Siri and just say, I want to meet with Lucia on May 1st of 2026 at 2 p.m. to follow up with her about the device. And then when I release this, it's going to put it on my calendar for May 1st, and I don't have to think about it again, right? It's already there, and then on May 1st, it's going to pop up on my calendar, and I'm going to make a follow-up call. But I'm not going to follow up about the patch, and that's the difference, okay? If you follow up and talk about the patch, then they're not going to take your calls, okay? But I am going to follow up on his health. How's he doing? How's he feeling? I'm not going to talk about the device, okay? I'm just going to say, are you guys traveling, or what's the plan? What's the protocol? And then if she brings it up, Pixie, and says, hey, are you still doing that device thing? Oh my God. You know what? I don't even know what we talked about. That was 3 months ago, 4 months ago. Whatever I told you, what I know now is a million times better than what I ever told you. This device is changing so many people's lives. And you could then go into the story and say, listen, I had a gentleman. You can use my testimonial. I had a gentleman in a wheelchair, debilitating pain, major inflammation, and it took about 150 days for this patch to go to work and to work on him. So the rule of thumb, I think they said, is for every decade that you are, that's how many months it might take the patch to work. So if you're 70, it could take 7 months. If you're 50, it could take 5 months. If you're 40, it could take 4 months for it to work, notice a noticeable difference, right? So that's what I would say to them is, this guy at 150 days, he started seeing a result. That's the, what is it, 30, 60, 90, 120. It happened in 6 months for him versus he was 72. So it didn't take 7 months to happen. It happened in 6 months. But he's so thankful that it did, right? So that's how I follow with people. And even if, they don't seem that interested, I will always follow up with people to find out how their kids are, how their job is. I'll put on the note on my calendar, like, hey, you told me that, the thing you would change about your job, were you able to get that changed? And then they'll be like, they remember, and you're having that conversation with them, and they're like, hey, are you still doing that stem cell thing? And then that's when the reaction lights up. It's like, oh my God. I don't even remember what I talked to you about, but whatever I told you, multiply that by 1,000,000. Like, it is crazy what this device is doing for people, what it's done for me. My life has changed. And this is the hook that I always use with people. My life has changed more than anything. This device has changed my life more than anything has ever changed my life before. True statement. It's how I feel. And when you share that, people lean in. They're like, okay, because no one says that, right? Have you ever met anyone that says, this one thing changed my life more than anything has ever changed my life before? No one says that, right? And so when you say that, it's a statement. It's like, what is this thing? Like, I want this thing, right? There's this line out the door. So that's the conversation that you have to have. But when you follow up, don't follow up about the device, because if you follow up about the device, they're not going to take your calls anymore. Follow up about them. Follow up about their life personally. All right, guys, I have to go. It's 3:30. I got another call. Thank you so much for being a part of this team. Make sure that you guys share this information with your team. Let's duplicate. Let's grow this thing. Let's do something that's never been done before. And if you guys have not registered for the event in Destin, please do so. We're getting ready to close that out soon. So we have to decide on how many mansions we're going to have. It's going to be a great event. And I would love to meet all of you and spend some time with you guys there. So have a great day. We'll see you guys really, really soon.